Okay, so let's get right into it. How does a war, just getting started, suddenly escalate into a massive global economic shockwave? It all began with a very clear warning that was ignored, and now, well, the consequences are hitting markets and your wallet all over the world.
The first shockwave hit Europe, and it hit hard. Almost overnight, European gas prices just skyrocketed by a staggering 30%. I mean, a jump like that sends instant panic through the entire energy sector.
And that panic? Oh, it went global in a heartbeat. In India, the stock market had a complete meltdown, wiping out 12 trillion rupees, that's over $140 billion in just a single day. The Sensex just crashed 2,400 points.
So you have to be asking, how did this even happen? How did a regional fight, thousands of kilometers away, manage to reach directly into our economy and mess with our lives so dramatically? Let's break it down. It all kicked off with one massive escalation, a direct, targeted attack by the US and Israel on Iran's most critical energy asset. We're talking about their economic crown jewel. The target was the South Pars gas field. Now, this isn't just any old field. It is the single largest natural gas field on the entire planet. It's this immense resource that's actually shared between Iran and Qatar.
And to really wrap your head around the scale we're talking about, just think about this. This one field has enough natural gas to supply the entire world's energy needs for 13 straight years. So yeah, hitting it wasn't a small move. It was a huge global statement.
Now, Iran had issued a very, very clear warning. They basically said, if you hit our energy infrastructure, we will set the Gulfs on fire. And after the South Pars attack, they absolutely delivered on that threat with devastating force. First, they went after the Ras Laffan facility in Qatar. This place is the world's single biggest liquefied natural gas plant. It's responsible for a massive 20% of the entire global supply of LNG.
But they didn't stop there. The retaliation just kept spreading, striking deep into Saudi Arabia and hitting a crucial Aramco ExxonMobil oil facility right near the capital, Riyadh. And just to make the message crystal clear, missiles were also launched toward Abu Dhabi. This spread the conflict and the chaos across the whole Gulf region. Suddenly, no major player was left untouched.
Okay, so amidst all this military chaos, a really strange political drama starts to unfold, especially between the United States and Israel. You had President Trump publicly trying to distance the US from that first attack. He claimed Israel just acted alone in a fit of anger and that he didn't even know about it beforehand. He even went on record asking Iran not to retaliate.
But here's the thing. While Trump was publicly claiming he was in the dark, media reports were saying the complete opposite, that the attack was actually fully coordinated between him and Netanyahu. It all points to this classic good cop, bad cop strategy, right? Designed to pressure Iran while trying to keep some level of deniability.
Meanwhile, America's allies over in Europe, they were getting deeply frustrated. Germany flat out said there was no convincing plan, France was calling for an immediate stop to the strikes, and the general feeling was clear. They weren't consulted, and they wanted no part in this escalation. So let's get to the most crucial point. Beyond all the missiles and the political games, there is a very real economic cost to this conflict. And it's so important to understand who exactly is being forced to pay the final bill. This is precisely why it matters so much to a country like India. A massive 40% of its liquefied natural gas comes directly from Qatar, whose main facility, Ras Laffan, is now severely damaged and basically offline. And that one supply cut creates this devastating chain reaction across the entire economy. A huge $78 billion energy deal is suddenly at risk. The gas shortage means fertilizer plants can't run at full capacity, which threatens food production and leads to higher prices for you at the market. And finally, it slams industry, with steel manufacturers facing production cuts and, yes, layoffs. And the cost isn't just in the fallout, it's also in the funding. The Pentagon is now asking American taxpayers for $200 billion to fund this war. And to put that number in perspective for you, that single request is equal to half of Iran's entire annual GDP. All of this really leaves us with a final challenging thought. After seeing the initial attack, the massive retaliation, and the global economic chaos that followed, you have to ask yourself, what is the true cost of modern conflict, and who, far from any battlefield, is the one that ultimately pays the price?